I'm Ben Ryman, and this is Behaviour Speak. Today I'm joined by Pragya Shrestha Pradhan, founder of the Avani Foundation, and who is believed to be Nepal's first board-certified behavior analyst. Pragya's journey began when her daughter Avani was diagnosed with autism. At the time, she had never even heard the word autism before. Facing long wait lists, limited services, and significant stigma surrounding disability, she traveled to India to access parent training and intervention supports. That experience changes everything. What started as a parent's search for help eventually led to the creation of Avani Foundation, the development of autism services for families across Nepal, and a mission to build behavior analysis capacity in a country where trained professionals remain scarce. Welcome to Behaviour Speak, Pragya.
Thank you, Ben. My pleasure.
Can you start by maybe telling us a little bit about yourself and how you got into this work?
Oh, yeah. So, my journey with autism started with a diagnosis of my daughter, right? When my daughter was diagnosed with autism, it was like, I have to be in this field. So initially that was the understanding, but later as I was in this field, I felt it was like passion for me. So now it's like passion. I really love what I'm doing, and being around with these kids with autism, it's like blessing for me. So yeah, I like my job. So it started with Avani, my daughter. So initially in Nepal, so autism is quite a new thing at that time when my daughter was diagnosed, right? So we don't have enough resources, this personalized training, and very limited resources, and long waiting list. Only one center, Autism Care Nepal Society, and all the diagnosed kids, they need to wait for the services. So in that situation, luckily, I managed to travel to India for this parent-child training program, and that program helped a lot with my daughter. And it was an inspiration at that time that if as a mother I have been working with my kid and that worked, then definitely it is going to work with all the other parents also. So actually that was the turning point of my life, the first turning point when I was introduced to autism, and I was a proud mother with autism because things worked with me. The things what I was doing with my kid, that definitely worked with me. So, yeah, so autism started with me in that way. Then I got back to Nepal after 3 months. Then I volunteered in Autism Care Nepal Society. And in 2018, we started Avani Foundation, where we work with kids with autism, providing various services and parent training. So, and the relationship with behavior analysis, it's a quite different chapter, because initially we started Avani Foundation just with a goal to train parent, and actually it was an inspiration for me because the thing I experienced, so the same thing we were replicating that in Avani Foundation, the training I took in Delhi, India, right? So initially the goal was that, but with time, what I felt that we have been doing so much, and we were working hardly with our kids, but still there was some gap. We could not figure out what is going wrong or why we are not able to cater the way we want to. And the big gap was the knowledge. We don't have a proper knowledge. In the meantime, I get an opportunity to get into a workshop where I was introduced to Dr. Smita Awasthi for the first time from Behaviour Movement in India. It was a workshop held in Nepal, in Kathmandu, and it was like amazing workshop, and that was the another turning point of my life. I could say that because I was really impressed the way she presented ABA and the evidence-based practices, the data-driven approach, which was quite new for me at that time. And yeah, and at that point it was like, yes, this is what I want to do, so that we can get some better intervention practices in Nepal. And from there, I just researched how can I do in this field, and then eventually I got into this field, and in 2022 December 31st, I was certified with my certification, board certified behavior analyst. So in this way, now I'm in this field, a parent to a professional.
And it's quite a journey. Tell me a bit more about what that early period was like when your daughter first got her diagnosis.
Oh, yeah, not the good days, definitely. It was like terrible because in my case, it's quite strange to hear that, but it is truth. I didn't heard about autism. Not even the word autism was known to me. It was quite a new thing. And once she was diagnosed, our best friend Google and I was introduced with all the tantrums, the meltdown videos, and it was like traumatizing.
Wow.
That.
Yeah.
So now Avani is going to be this when she is growing older. So that was a big question for me, what autism is going to be, or how my daughter is going to grow later, right? So it was quite traumatizing, and the experience only a parent can feel that, how they feel when their kids are diagnosed with autism, something like that. So these are very difficult days, but the other difficult part was no resources, nothing. You just Google and you get to know that intervene as early as possible, right? And when we visit the centers, we need to wait for months and years. So the waiting list was so long, and you are in a queue, no services. So that was the miserable part that we parent have to face in country like Nepal. But now the things has changed. Yeah. So the days, so it's like already Avani is now 11 years old. So she was diagnosed while she was 2 years old, right? So it's like 9 years ago. Yeah. So things were quite difficult. Not only as a parent, to make people understand, to make family members understand, to make our relatives understand. It was quite difficult, and there was a point when my husband, he decided not to stay in this country while Avani was diagnosed. In the initial days when we were just like not in our state, right? So let's not stay in this country, because culturally disability and autism, these things are not easily accepted with the family, and they are like stigmatized with some intellectual disability, and disability are not viewed with a good vision here, right? So yeah, the days were not that good. We struggled a lot, and it was like internal struggle initially. But once we were in Delhi and we can see the change, there was like a miracle happened with Avani, right? And at that point, I really understood the power of early intervention because she was just 2, right? So in that time, everything, I was working with her with some basic ABA principles and some strategies of DIR, flow time, and some teach, and it worked. Right. So at that point we thought that yes, things work. So as a parent we have done so much, then definitely it's not going to be a tragedy for us.
So you moved to Delhi with your husband and your daughter.
So basically
Before that,
with my father. At that
pardon me?
time my husband, he was, yeah, with my father. My father,
With your
me
father,
and
okay.
my daughter. My husband, he was not here in Kathmandu at that time. So that's why I have to get there with my father.
I see. And what, not knowing anything about autism and being so much stigma and very little support for disability, how did you even know to seek out a diagnosis?
Yeah, because I have 2 elder daughters, right? And the very early days, I was quite concerned about her behavior. She was quite different. Avani was different than what my elder daughters they used to be, right? She was not responding. But the thing was, she while she was 15 to 16 months, she at that time she was speaking some very little speech, and she was responding, show me your nose, show me your head, bye bye, namaste. She was doing everything, right?
Right.
But once she was 17 and a half, she literally muted. Not even a single word. No mama. So initially she was saying mama, daddy, a single word. But
Right.
after that she stopped. From 17 months to 24 months. She didn't speak even a word.
Wow.
So she stopped responding. Now she was not looking back when you are calling. Eye contact was down. She loves to stay alone. So yeah, that was the situation. Slowly we can see that there was a regression. And the concern started from there. Why she is not speaking? Initially she spoke, but not now. Why the eye contact is gone? So this thing
Yes.
happened, and my sister-in-law, she is orthodontics, and once she was also concerned, and she told that maybe it's autism, because she knew about that, and for me the word was quite new. And then from there our concern start. We visited doctor, and since she was only 2, then she was diagnosed with high risk with autism, and all the symptoms, when we googled in YouTube and googled, all the 10 symptoms were there in Avani. Yeah, so that way we get to know that yes, I think she's with us.
And tell me a bit about that parent program. How did you learn about it, and what, and sorry, who put it on? What did it involve?
Okay, so basically what happened after Avani was diagnosed, we had a center here, Autism Care Nepal Society, only one center at that time, and we were there with Avani, and they told us, they informed us about this parent training program, right? But the miserable part was we need to wait for that program for an year, because it was a group program, and it used to take 2.5 month program, 2.5 month long, and after one batch is off, the other batch is there. So it takes time to get enrolled for that, and we need to wait for at least an year for that training, to get enrolled in that training. And so after that, I talked with Dr. Sunita Maliku. She's president in Autism Care Nepal Society, right? And she told that if you can do that, if you try, if you get the dates in Action for Autism Delhi, then you can take the same training from there, because this training program, this training framework is actually from Action for Autism Delhi. They also get trained from that place, and they were replicating the same training here in Autism Care Nepal Society. And with her direction, then I managed to go to Delhi for this training program.
I see. So it was the same program that was being provided at the Autism Nepal Center, but the wait list was so long that it made more sense to go to India.
Yes, exactly.
And what did that training involve? Was it ABA? You said it was sort of a combination of things?
Yes, ma'am. So basically, it was a combination, basic one-in-one sessions. So parents were trained to teach their child the basic foundation skills, like eye contact, listen responding, some receptive language, some expressive language, and following basic instructions. Yeah? And it was also a type of school readiness program, because there are also group activities. Yeah, and it's quite good. And it worked a lot with Avaani. So it was basically based on ABA principles, and some DR flow time and teach program was there. It was a combination.
And so you kind of discovered sort of ABA in its truest form a bit later in Avani's life.
Yes.
And so she...
Quite later.
Yes. So she didn't really go through that sort of education that Avani now provides to others.
Yes, she didn't do that, because initially, apart from what I got trained and I was working with her, apart from that, she used to go for speech therapy with the speech language pathologist, and it was for, I think, few months, 3 to 4 months. She was there in speech language therapy, and slowly her words were back, and from one word, then phrase, then sentences. So yeah, after her second birthday, so eventually the words were back, and the good thing was she was responding good. So it was like within few months everything was back for us.
So,
and now she is doing quite good. She's in grade 6.
Grade 6.
And yeah, we are so happy that she's doing good. A very compliant child. And even teachers are like happy that she is so easy to handle, even easier than the other kids in her class. Yeah, she goes to a regular school.
Regular school, regular programming.
Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing. And do you still provide? Does she still get some sort of services right now, or?
She used to get some occupational therapy because of her some hypotonia problem is there, some weak muscular tone, right? Apart from that, no. She's doing all her regular programs only.
That's amazing. So tell me more about your ABA journey. So you took the workshop with the behavior analyst from India, and then what was the next step? What did you do after that?
Then after that, actually, I inquired because that particular workshop was also a collaboration with one of the parent who has a kid with autism, and I know her quite closely, right? And inquired with her about if it was possible that I can get some courses or something like that. And at that time, she told that no, everything was stopped already because, do you remember, like it was 23, it was going to stop everything from
Right.
BACB board. And she told that the last batch has already enrolled. And I think, so sorry, you will not be able to enroll in this program. Initially, she told that. So I was quite sad about that, to hear that. And after a few months, again, one of the parents, she was talking about this ABA in Delhi with Behavior Momentum India. And then I directly contacted Behavior Momentum. And then they were starting this VCR's course for BCBA program. And then from there, I just enrolled, and yes.
And was that like an online program, or did you do that all in person in India?
No, it's an online program.
And you were certified on December 31st, 2022. So that was quite literally the last possible day to write the BCBA exam. You may even be the last BCBA ever.
Might be, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. And I had to travel to Abu Dhabi from here because I didn't get dates so basically in Nepal, we don't have this centers where we can give our exams, right? So basically Pearson does this. And in Nepal, we have Pearsons. They are going through GRE SAT programs, but not BCBA exam. So basically, we need to travel to India. But India, everywhere, I was just searching for this, but I didn't get any date because you can understand it was the last month, and everywhere it was packed. So I want to go for the nearest possible. But I could not find any place in Thailand, Singapore. I was just going, so it was the last option I got was Abu Dhabi.
And what did supervision look like? So you how did you get your supervision hours and sort of do all that work?
It was a totally remote supervision. And in my case, actually what happened was I need to do concentrated supervision because I don't have time to complete my 2000 hours. So I did it 1500 hours, the other side in the field work, and I added my supervision hours and I did, So my supervision was concentrated supervision. I had 2 supervisors from India, and it was remote supervision.
And did you do all that work?
Video recordings and
And did you do all that work through the Nepal Autism Center, or how did you get clients and whatnot?
Yeah, we were already working in Avani Foundation, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So tell me a little. Let's talk a little bit about Avani then, because so Avani kind of started before the BCBA journey. What was sort of the initial inspiration to start the foundation, and what were those early steps like?
Yeah. So the initial inspiration was because the limited resources. I initially told you, right, that only Autism Care Nepal Society. I was totally with the parent training program, right? In country like Nepal, where we don't have proper knowledgeable professionals and therapists or very limited resources. In that case, what we thought that every parent, they need to be empowered, they need to be trained so that they can work with their kids at home, right? So the primary goal was to cater the parent. So we started Avani Foundation to replicate the same training that I got from Action for Autism. So initially we started that way. So since Autism Care Nepal Society was also doing the same, but they were able to do only a few number of parents. So we started Avani Foundation to cater a bigger number, so that now the parents are getting the training in the two different places, right?
Yes.
So we can cater a bigger number of parents. So we started Avani Foundation with that goal, but slowly it was like it was not enough for us. So because by the parent, their necessity, they were talking about our kids, we are not able to send them to school. The regular schools are not enrolling our kids with autism, right? Inclusion is not yet involved in our education system in Nepal. We have in our policies, we have everything in our documents, but not practically, right? So many our kids, they are not going to school, not because academically they are not good enough, but because of some very small behavior problems, like they are not able to sit in a place, the teachers are not able to help them with their some participation in the classroom, some very basic issues, and the kids are not going to the school. So in that case, we again, according to the need of that particular time, the situation, we started our daycare center. It's like a special school, you can say. So where we have few kids. Right now we have 28 kids in our daycare center who are not able to enroll in a mainstream school. And then we added our therapies, like we have a few speech language pathologists with us, and we are doing speech therapists. We have occupational therapists. So basically we don't have occupational therapists initially. In Nepal we have only 3 to 4 occupational therapists, but since we know that there is a need of sensory integration and some motor difficulties and all, some muscular difficulties, and occupational therapy becomes must. In that case, we hired occupational therapists from India. So right now also we have occupational therapist who is from India. So now we have occupational therapy, speech therapy, and we are providing ABA after my certification, and we are running a daycare program and parent-child training program.
Wow. Now, when you first got Avani's diagnosis, you didn't even know the word autism. There was a lot of stigma. There probably still is some. No one was really talking about autism. Has Avani Foundation done work to build autism awareness in Nepal?
Yes, from the day one. Our one of the campaign is awareness campaign. So we have been doing lots and lots of awareness campaign. Not only in Kathmandu, actually the Kathmandu is capital of Nepal, right? So we are working on remote areas, the other provinces, other districts, where we are working with parents and health workers, teachers, and also the government people, the policy makers.
Yes.
So yeah, because autism is quite a new thing here. There used to be autistic people, but they were like labeled something else, like intellectual disability or something like that. And I want to share you, initially, I think before 10 years ago, autism was classified as intellectual disability. in Nepal. But I think from last 7 to 8 years, after lots of advocacy that Autism Care Nepal Society has done, now it is classified in a different class, that is autism. Now it's not under intellectual disability, so it's a different class. But initially it was understood as some intellect problem. And it was in the same class where the Down syndrome, mental retardation was there. Everything was in the same class. But now it is classified in some different class, and the name of the class is autism.
And so people can get the... Go ahead, yeah, please.
So basically our government, our people, our community, they have eventually understood autism. From last few years, I can see that the day when Avani was diagnosed and the day where now we are talking, so there's a lot of change. People has changed the view what autism is, and the awareness is quite good now. But yet not sufficient, I can say that. But yeah, things are better now.
So you became maybe the first BCBA in Nepal, is that right?
Yeah.
And so, becoming the first BCBA in Nepal, did you immediately start providing services at Avaani after that, or what did that transition look like?
Yes. So basically, while I was, I started my study, this VCS course, I was doing my field work, I was doing my competency, I was doing my supervision. From those days, I started ABA strategy, ABA principles with my kids, and but that was not named ABA because I was doing everything under my supervisor. And after my certification, we started. So we started slowly because until I was certified, we also had 2 RBTs in the same year in Avani Foundation. Initially, they used to be our teachers. Both of them are parent. And they used to be teacher in our daycare. And later, they enrolled in the course and they both certified with RBT. So while I was certified, we already in a team of 3. So 2 RBTs and an analyst. So it was quite a good start for us. So with lesser number of kids, we started initially. But the ABA program here we do in Nepal is 1-in-1 session with 1-hour program. Because we have our own limitations, like it's like cultural thing and the financial. Parents, they are not able to afford, because as you increase the hours for the therapy, the price definitely it's going to be more. And ABA in home settings, all these things are also limited ones in Nepal right now, because culturally these are not a good practice here.
And so children are getting an hour of service. Is that per week, per day, per
day?
Per day.
So it's like 5 days a week,
okay,
and 1 hour per day.
Gotcha. All right. And do you find there's lots of differing opinions and arguments around the amount of time and the amount of service one needs. Do you find that you're having some success with 5 hours per week with these children?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
We had so many cases where we can see a significant improvement, significant changes in our kids. So initially, the kids who were in our special environment, special schools, now they have transitioned to a regular school, but still fingers crossed, and we are taking care. We have some shadows, and we are collaborating with the schools, and we are trying these transitions, and till now we have good feedbacks, and they are doing good. Kids are doing good. And we can see the difference because we have been working with the kid before ABA also, right? So now we can see the change, what we were doing before and what we are doing now, and the change in behavior, the change in compliance, the way the children are responding. Yeah, we can see there's a quite significant improvement. And also the communication, language, speech. Kids started talking, and I think that is the best thing a parent can feel when their kids are talking, right? It becomes a very big thing when the kids speak.
Yeah. Yeah, that must be an amazing feeling for those families.
Yeah, definitely. And being a parent, I can understand how that feels.
You talked about cultural barriers and pieces. So, for example, doing in-home services. Tell me a little bit about that, and a bit about sort of what kind of culturally responsive ABA looks like in Nepal.
Yeah, it's quite different because these things are not the common practices here, right? So with few parents, not everyone, with few parents, because of some problem behaviors they were dealing, and they came to us, and we want to plan some program, and definitely need to be done in home setting also, right? But they were not comfortable for that. The parents were not comfortable because these practices are not common here in Nepal, right? So in that case, we had to train the parent for data collection and all. And we trained parent for the ABC data and all, which was good really. Few of them learned, but with few of them it didn't work because, again, parent, they're like, you cannot expect them to do what you want, right? Yeah. So there are some barriers when you're working with parent because already they are having lots and lots in their head, and again they are taking data, and yes, so that becomes problem. So that's why while dealing with some problem behaviors, these things become barriers for us. We struggle for this because just taking data, and most of the time when the kids they are with us, we don't see any problem behaviors, right? Because they are busy with us, interacting, having fun, learning, and most of the time the behaviors pops out when they are alone, or they are not getting some actively they are some participating in something, right? And most of the time at home or school. So that becomes the problem. But we are trying to make people aware that how actually ABA works. So this is also one of the challenges we are going through there. We are advocating parents and the government and universities, what actually ABA is. What is the difference between the regular special education, what has been going, and what is the difference between the ABA, right? So basically the data-driven part, this becomes significantly different thing when we are talking about ABA. But because when we see even in the special education, ABA is there embedded, right? So actually ABA is everywhere. Even though we are not using ABA, we can see the principles and strategies everywhere.
Yes.
But when we are talking about proper ABA program, then we need data, right? So this this part is missing here. And also, since we are working in a network, right? So it becomes difficult for parents to make understand, because a therapist is working with the kid, but somebody else is responsible for that. So somebody else is giving the program, and somebody else is working with the kid, right? So this proper network, most of the time they don't understand, and we have to make them understand how everything works.
How do kind of cultural beliefs and traditions influence how families understand autism?
Yes, yeah, definitely. Because, and in case of autism, it's like more significantly, because in other disabilities, already disability is stigmatized in our culture, right? But in other disabilities, it's like you can see that there is some difficulties, right? But in autism, even the parent, they are not accepting, because in some skills they are like here, and some skills they are like there, and most of the time they think that no, he is really non-compliant. It's not that he is struggling. So kids are mislabeled, and they don't want to understand, since awareness is not there. So it becomes difficult even for parents to understand their kids. And culturally, the grandparents, it becomes like struggle for parents and the grandparent, right? From the older generation, so they have their own perspective to deal with their grandchild. But when we train our parents that these are the function of behavior, where to give the attention, where not to give the attention, where to ignore the behavior, where to support the behavior, in that case, now the parents are like, it becomes very difficult for them to work in their home setting, because, and culturally, most of the families, we are in a joint family, right? So love to be in a joint family, because we have seen generations going that way. And in that case, so if the parent has a proper thing in their mind, and they want to plan a behavior intervention in a different way, the other people in the family who are not aware of this, most of the time the grandparents, they interfere, and it becomes difficult for the parent to work with. So yeah, these things are there. Our culture becomes a barrier, because even when we are training parent, it's not possible to train everyone in the family, right? So there might be families with 10 individuals in a single family. Yeah. So the problem behaviors are reinforced by so many other members in the family, even though the parents are quite aware what to do. Yeah. So these are the cultural barriers.
are there common beliefs or practices that families turn to before seeking help, before seeking a diagnosis?
Yes. So, in our culture, it's like a boy child, he is going to speak late. If the child is not speaking, it's okay because his grandparent or his father, even they spoke late. So, it's okay for a male child to speak late. So, this belief make them wait, just accepting the situation that it's a very a normal thing, and this is this can be handled easily, or with time the child will understand, with time the child will speak, with time everything, all the behaviors are going to be okay, right? And this waiting becomes a dangerous part, because the period where the child need the intervention and all those periods are missed. Yeah. So these beliefs that male child and female child, even sometimes the female child, they are not recognized that yes, there is some problem, right? If the male child is playing alone, or playing, not going outside, not playing with their friends, at that point it becomes a concern. But if the same thing the female child is doing most of the time, like okay, it's a female thing, it's okay for her to play alone, or it's okay for her to make herself isolate. So yeah, these cultural beliefs also works that way.
And do boys actually speak later? Like, what sort of, for like a boy that maybe doesn't get an autism diagnosis, how late could it be that they start speaking?
Not actually, but it's like there's a belief in it, but I don't know why. Most of the grandparents, most of the time, because most of the families, they have grandparents in the same family, and whenever parent has a concern that why my boy is not speaking, or why my daughter is not speaking, because he's already two, right? Because the concern starts from there. Initially all the behaviors are not absorbed properly, because the parents are also busy and these things are happening. All the behaviors are not absorbed properly initially, but once they are conscious about he's not speaking, his all the other friends are already speaking, but he's not speaking, right? And at that time the concern start. But the elderly in the family, they convince themselves that it's okay for a male boy, because a male child, he speaks late. So there is some beliefs like that. And even when they are compared, so it's like it's okay, he's a male child, he will speak late. And sometimes they are compared with like even his dad, he spoke at 5, or his grandfather, he spoke at 7, and it's a normal thing not to speak at 2 or 3.
And is that really true that the grandfather didn't speak till he was 7, or is that something that's sort of a story that's been created? Or
It might be true, because they are telling all those so confidently. But only speaking or only the speech is not the issue, right? There are so many other things. So we have kids who are singing rhymes and so many other things. They are speaking but not communicating, right? So they are not going to that detail that he is not communicating, but just focusing in the speech. Yeah. So these things arise, that because since they are not aware about what autism is or what autism might look like. Ignoring all the details and focusing only in the speech.
Right. Gotcha. When you became the first behavior analyst at the end of 2022, are there any more now?
In Nepal?
Yeah.
No. So basically, first and last. Right, yeah. So here in Nepal now, there are so many other people who are really interested in ABA and they want to do some courses or they want to do the certification, but we don't have any option because BACB board they are not catering people here in Nepal and all the Southeast Asia, right? So here the people are looking for the other boards like QABA and IBAO.
Right.
So they don't have any other options. And the good thing is Avani Foundation and Kathmandu University, one of the very good university in Nepal. So we are collaborating to start Masters in Behavior Analysis as a master degree program, as a university program. And recently it is officially approved. We got the approval from the university. And it's I think it's a very good news for all of us. All of us who are in Nepal, and definitely we are looking for some competent professionals and behavior analysts in near future in Nepal.
That's amazing. And that will steer people towards becoming like an IBA or a QBA?
For now, no. For now, it's going to be only a master degree university program. It's not a transition to certification. It's only a university program. So the products need to be behavior analyst, but not the board certified behavior analyst.
But it sounds like it would provide maybe the educational requirements.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Dr. Neil Martin, he is there with us, and he has been helping, supporting, guiding us for all the courses and all. And so we are lucky that we have the supervision and the guidance from him, and thus we hope we are going to run a good program.
And is the hope that maybe you'll create your own certification for Nepal?
Yes. Even when we talk with university, they are also interested in that. Maybe we will start some local certification in Nepal, so that our professionals, they got certified, because the certification has its own value, right? So the competent thing is quite more than that of the university program. So maybe near future, yes. Or we can have a collaborative program with some international certification too. We never know.
Yeah.
To start with, we are going through this university program.
Perfect. Yeah, that's amazing. One of the common issues I see when I speak to folks who are one of the only or maybe one of a couple behavior analysts in the country is that they are the only certified behavior analysts, there are often people practicing behavior analysis that are maybe untrained, maybe have an RBT or an IBT certification and that's it, maybe nothing at all. Is that a problem in Nepal? Do you have people practicing ABA without the proper training and supervision and certification?
Yeah. So basically, there are so many centers who are providing ABA practices, ABA services. So basically, they have in their brochure that one of the therapies, ABA therapy. Apart from speech therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, ABA therapy, you can see in their brochure, right? And they have been doing this, but no behavior analyst, no RBTs, no ABAT, no IBTs. So basically, no any ABA program is running there. We have seen so many centers here in Nepal, but they have named them ABA. So all the one-in-one sessions, all the one-in-one program, they are labeled as ABA. And they don't know actually what ABA is. So yes, the practice is there. But the good thing is, once people are aware, last year we have done a global summit here in Nepal. So we gathered 10 BCBAs here in Nepal. And the global summit was for the first time in Nepal. And we did that. We want to make aware our people in Nepal, our communities, the universities, the government people, all they were invited in that program. And it was a big program held with so many BCBAs and BCBADs in that program. And we were successful to run that program, and it has a quite good impact in our community too. Now people are quite interested. They are talking about ABA, and they are looking for some professional programs or degrees, some certification. They contact me, so many people after that global summit. They are quite interested in this field and they want to do something. Yeah, and that's a good thing now. Now people are aware what ABA is, and it will be a good answer to those practices which has been done as the malpractices. Now, and even the parents are aware. Now they ask who is the therapist, whether the therapy sessions are supervised or guided with someone, and this is a good thing because now they are aware of what ABA is or how it works. And once the parents are aware, these malpractices they are not going to work for longer period of time.
What's been the response of these other professionals, like the speech pathologists and the occupational therapists and even the doctors, to ABA? Are they supportive, or what's that look like?
Yeah, so in my personal experience, right? So I have met with developmental pediatrician, doctors, child psychiatrists, and they are responding. Their response is quite good. They're like quite happy about what we are doing, and they talk about like they are really interested, and they can just see. They want to see how it is going to help, and they want the program to be collaborated with them. But in case of speech language pathologist, don't know, uh, they are not quite happy. I don't know why. They are not quite happy with the ABA program. We have ABA program, we have speech therapy in Avani Foundation itself, right? And here, even I need to make them understand. I have done so many times that it's a collaborative approach. Let's come together and work together. But still that is like, so what happened actually? Few parents, kids who were coming to Avani Foundation for the services, they used to do speech therapy and ABA therapy both at the same time, right? So few kids, they started speaking after joining ABA therapy within 3 to 4 months. It was like a very few cases, right? I don't know if I need to talk here or not, but I want to talk about that. So they started speaking, and parent, they started talking about that with each other, and it was like a rumors, and it was everywhere that ABA works, because we have been doing speech therapy from last 2 years. But once we started ABA, within 3 months or within 4 months, now kids started speaking. Now he's communicating. And then that became an issue. And that issue was with the speech language pathologist, and yeah, but later we sat together and I assured them that no, it doesn't work that way. You are equally, you are working, and you are responsible to that, because we are working together. So it's not that only ABA is responsible. You are working, you are doing your job, and you are doing your job perfectly, right? So that's why we are working collaboratively, and now we can see the result. Now the child is speaking, so we need to focus on that. So it should not be like what you have done or what I have done, right? So we need the result. So yeah, sometimes this thing happens also in our center, and I can see, I have heard some rumors that speech therapists, they are not happy with ABA. So basically ABA means Avani Foundation right now, right? Because only we are doing, and I feel bad sometimes why that, because they are quite unaware what ABA is. They don't know what ABA is, because internationally we can see that so many speech language pathologists, they are BCBAs, right? They have understood the relationship between the language development in ABA and speech language pathology, right?
Yeah.
It's a matter to understand, and we can, if we work collaboratively, we'll get the better results, right? So yeah, sometimes I need to speak with them and make them understand, but still they are like, we are speech therapists, so we are responsible for speech. How can we say that a kid is speaking just doing some ABA practices? So yeah, we have been struggling for this because people are not aware with ABA in our country.
Yeah.
But we are trying our best to make people understand how we work, because it's not that a controversial thing to say that you are good or you are bad, right? So it's a collaborative effort. We all are doing our job. And when
You're doing.
yeah. Yes,
I just noticed that you're doing so much by yourself to advocate for ABA, to build awareness, to combat malpractice. What keeps you going?
So basically, hope of parents, right? Because we are also working in the training program, and we can see how parents, they are motivated. They are looking after us, right? They are looking at us and getting motivated. Yes, it works. it's been working, and definitely it will work. So their hopes. I think that is the main motivation for us to work, and working with kids with autism is not an easy job. Yeah. So every time you are not reinforced for what you are doing, but still yes. And I think being a parent is the add-on thing here, because being a parent now, I feel responsible for whatever is happening in this community. So it's a very personal emotion, but what happens whenever I go to train teachers? So most of the time we have workshop with teachers, school teachers, where our kids are going to that school. So we run so many workshops with the teachers and one-on-one sessions. And whenever we are teaching them, and I feel that they are doing so much for me or something like that, because our kids, right? So in country like Nepal, where there are schools, they don't want autistic kids. They don't want to work with them. It's like straight no. We will not be enrolling your kid. Right. So this is the scenario in our country right now. In that scenario, if the teacher is quite interested and listening to you and wants to help a child with autism, so I feel that he is doing everything for me, or parent like me. Right. So yeah, I think these are the motivations that people are coming together. They want to listen, they want to learn. So yeah. So I want to help them. How much I could do, I don't know. And yeah, so this makes me moving.
And where do you go for support and mentorship and to sort of take care of you?
Yeah. So I have few supervisors, international supervisors. So whenever I have some issues, or maybe not every time issues, right? Because I have been working with early intervention from the very beginning, right? So I have my expertise or my knowledge in this field, because I have been doing this field. And if I have to work with an adolescent who is 14 to 15 years, right? So in that case, recently I took my supervision with an international supervisor, right? And now I want to start a group ABA, which we have not been doing yet. So we are doing now group ABA. For that, I have a different supervisor from India who has been working in a school environment.
Cool.
So yes, I'm doing that, and definitely I'll be doing that because I need to learn. So this is a field where we are learning every day.
And looking back, what are you most proud of so far in your journey?
Proud of what I am doing right now. I'm happy. So I think proud of my daughter, what she has done till now, because being autistic, she has been so responsive and compliant and listening to us and had a passion to learn. So I think that is the best thing kid with autism is putting her effort to learn, right? Because we can understand their challenges, we can understand their barriers. I can understand how difficult it might be for her, especially in case of Avani, especially the social skills. She don't want to be among people. She don't want to be, there are some situations where she don't want to be there. But sometimes, I just told you, right? So our cultural thing. So there are some places where we have to be there. Our family need to be participating. And Avani has been understanding all this situation, and she's trying her level best. And I'm proud that I'm able to make her understand that equally I want to keep a balance between how much I am going to teach her or make her understand, and how much I will understand myself, or I will convince myself, or I will convince my family that this is going to be difficult for Avani. So let's compromise, and how much she is doing. So it's like a collaborative effort in our family also, so that it should not be that it is difficult for Avani and everything she is getting escape from everything. She needs to learn. She has to be here in our community, right? She's part of our community. So there are so many things that we are not able to deny, right? But also at one point, we listen to her. We want to understand that this is going to be difficult for her. So we are going to be adaptable, or we want to compromise for her. So keeping that balance, trying to maintaining that balance in a family or a kid who is in that family, right? So I think that is very important as a parent, as a professional, and till now I'm proud because I'm able to maintain that. I think so.
Yeah.
Till date. I don't know how it is going to be tomorrow, right? Because autism is a quite different condition where you are not quite certain about how it is going to be tomorrow. But till date, I'm proud of that. Because end of the day, either I'm a BCBA or behavior analyst or everything, I'm a parent of a kid with autism,
Yes.
right?
And what about you? You have two other daughters.
Yes.
Yeah. And do they get along well with Avani, and do they provide some support as well?
Yes, and the thing is, actually, is quite a big age differences between. My elder daughter Ashmita, and the second daughter is Atithi. So Ashmita and Avani, they are 15 years age difference. Right. And when we were working with Avani in her early days, like the early intervention program, her sisters, they were very strong pillars. They stood before me, and they were taking care with about everything for Avani, how to communicate, how to teach her how to handle her problem behaviors. Those initial days, my daughters were like my full support, whatever they have done in working in the in field working with Avani and all. Yeah, both of them are right now in Australia. They are doing their studies. My elder daughter, she has graduated with her social work. And my middle daughter Atithi, she is with her finals now, and she's doing bachelor in biotechnology in University of Melbourne. So
Wow.
both of my daughters are not here with us right now.
Mm.
Yeah, but they communicate, they talk in
Mm.
phone, and yeah, they're
Mm.
updated what is happening.
Yeah.
And Avani is quite very close with her sisters.
Mm. That's great. Before we close, I'd like to learn a little bit about Nepal. Just to tell me a little bit about kind of Nepal, where it is, a bit about the country, a bit about the people and the culture, just for other folks listening. I don't think a lot of folks know a whole lot about Nepal besides maybe, Mount
Mount
Everest and
Everest.
and Mount Everest and maybe a few other things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically Nepal is a very small country,
Hmm.
but an independent country,
Hmm.
and we lie in between India and China. So
Hmm.
we are in between India and China, and people here are very lovable and full
Hmm.
of fun and happy people.
Hmm.
We love our culture, and we have diverse religion, culture,
Hmm.
languages, diverse culture with their food, with their dresses, with their
Hmm.
languages. So it's a beautiful
Hmm.
diversity here we have
Hmm.
in our country. Even though it's very small, you get a
Hmm.
diverse number. And yes, culturally we are very rich.
Hmm.
We have ancient monuments,
Hmm.
and it's a really beautiful place to visit.
Hmm.
And when we talk about disability and autism, we are quite we are just taking some baby steps.
Hmm.
And initially, when Avani was diagnosed, at that time, we have very limited awareness, limited resource, only one center, and very less knowledgeable professionals. The scenario was totally different than what we have now. Now we have so many other centers also, some private centers, not only the NGOs. And recently, in April 2026, our Nepal government, they have announced to have a autism model school in every province. So we have 7 provinces, right? So it's a very good approach. And though it's an initiative, definitely we are hoping to have a successful province of these programs. And yeah, government is now taking interest in especially autism now. Yeah, and we are happy. And maybe in near future and side by side, we are also gaining our footsteps in behavior analysis, right?
Hmm.
Since we are starting our course, then yeah, we hope we will be having a proper environment where kids with autism and other neurodevelopmental conditions are catered with a proper intervention program,
Hmm.
policies, everything.
Hmm. And so, what's your vision for autism services in the next 5 to 10 years in Nepal?
So, what I feel that ABA need to be enhanced and very common. It need to be door to door. Every kid need to be having this services, right? Because right now it's like only Avani Foundation and very few kids, only limited number of kids they are having these services, right? And we know that these intervention work, and even the parent, they are happy whatever is happening, right? So if the things are working, our goal is that all the other kids who are waiting, even they need to get catered with this services, right? And our approach with the university program, with Dr. Neil Martin, and with all the other BCBAs from all around the world. So everything is there around this program that ABA need to be enhanced, and it needs to be awareness. There need to be awareness. There we need a good number of behavior analysts, a good number of behavior technicians, so that each kid get the proper intervention that they are seeking for. And since the cultural and the financial barriers are there, and I think we need to find a mid pathway, because the Western ABA culture is quite different. We can understand because it arises from there. But when we are doing ABA in our place, in our culture, I think there need to be some mid path. And definitely, I want to work on those paths, that how we can together with our joint families, with our relatives, and with our teachers, coming together and running a proper ABA program, which will impact these kids with their skill acquisition and functional skills.
What kind of support or collaboration would make the biggest difference right now?
I think resource building, the only one support I am looking for. Is once we have resource, I think other things are going to be sorted, right? Recently, right now, we are really struggling for the resource. We don't have occupational therapists, we don't have speech therapists. There's queue everywhere. You are just getting half an hour therapy, and you need to pay a lot because you don't have enough human resources, right? So once you have enough people around, definitely everyone is getting the therapy and services. And I think that is the major thing, the human resource. That would be the best support we would be seeking from any national or international support system. A proper training, supervision, guidelines, that can make us more comfortable, more supported with the trainings and professional knowledge.
What would you want the global behavior analysis and autism community to understand about Nepal?
Yeah, so even though we are working with ABA principles, right, but we have our own cultural beliefs and our old traditional systems, and we need to be part of this. We are part of this system, and following this system with our ABA principles, sometimes it might be difficult, but not that much difficult. We are trying to manage in this, and yes, the ABA principles, this evidence-based practices really works. And as I told earlier, that we want to come together and start ABA program that is appropriate to that becomes appropriate in our scenario, in our culture, among our people and community. And I know it's possible. It might not look a proper ABA that we have in US or Western places. It might look quite different, but the principle is the same, right?
Pragya, this has been really fascinating learning about you and your work and this incredible journey you've been on with no roadmap and the tireless work you do for your daughter, for the autism community, for the ABA community. I've never seen anyone like you before. It's amazing. Yeah. Thanks so much for coming here and sharing your story and meeting me so late at night. I really appreciate you and all the work you're doing and look forward to staying in touch.
Yes, sure. And I want to say that it's a parent perspective, right? Being a parent with a kid with autism or being a parent with autistic kids, the patience you have, the motivation you have to work with the same passion every day. So I think that is the main point, that you want to work with the same inspiration, same motivation every day. And the main point comes with your kid with autism. It starts from there, it ends at there. And side by side, they are your teacher, right? They are going to teach you everything. Each point you have learned, I have learned with my daughter, and not only my daughter, each of the kid, they are coming to Avani Foundation. Each new kid is like, okay, so how to start? Where to start? With each kid, I feel the same the first time. But once you are working with them, so it becomes a fluency, you develop a relationship, right? So yeah. But what I think is, once you are a parent, you can recognize, you can understand that autistic soul quite easily. I feel that I can understand each autistic soul, and the level of acceptance become quite high, and it becomes easier for you to work, and it becomes easier to understand what the parent in front of you, he or she, is going through, right? Because you have also gone through the same journey. Yeah, so it becomes easier. Thank you so much. Yeah, thanks for this opportunity, and whatever you have provided this platform for me. Thank you so much.
Thanks again, Pragya. Before we wrap up, if you enjoyed this conversation with Pragya, I'd encourage you to go back and check out episode 204, Autism Advocacy in Pakistan with Dr. Shumala Noreen. While today's episode explored the growth of autism services and behavior analysis in Nepal, episode 204 offers a fascinating look at similar challenges and opportunities in neighboring Pakistan. Both conversations highlight what it takes to build awareness, advocate for families, develop professional capacity, and expand access to evidence-based supports in parts of the world where autism services are still emerging. Together, these episodes paint a powerful picture of the dedication, creativity, and persistence required to grow behavior analytic services across South Asia. If Pragya's story resonated with you, I think you'll find Shumala's journey equally inspiring. You can find episode 204 at behaviorspeak.com. Thanks again to Pragya for sharing her story, her work, and her vision for the future of autism services in Nepal. And as always, thank you for listening to Behaviour Speak. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a colleague, friend, or family member, and be sure to follow, rate, and review the podcast wherever you listen, and subscribe on YouTube. We'll see you next time.